Okay, here we are back in layout, and now we're going to assign our weight maps to our bones. First thing you'll see is, looks like if you take a look down here at the legs, like something messed up on our rig, but I'm going to tell you that's not actually a big deal. I'm going to deselect auto key. I'm just going to go down to the timeline, grab my little slider here, and slide that back and forth, and things will snap back into place as they should. First thing we're going to do is actually select a bone. Well, let's go into bone X-ray. And I was noticing as I looked around the scene earlier, actually, that I chose white for the color for these spine bones. And that probably wasn't the best choice. So I'm going to go ahead and select those bones and give them a color of dark blue. And that'll make things show up a little bit more nicely in our character. I'm going to go ahead and select a bone, any bone, it doesn't matter. I'm going to hit P for item properties, and the first thing we need to do here is we need to set our fall-off type, and we're going to actually set that to inverse distance of 128, which is the maximum. This will minimize the amount of influence that a given bone will have on surrounding points, and you can experiment around with different fall-off types, although I'll tell you that 128 really gives optimal results. If you want to have a little bit of fun, try setting it down to inverse distance, and you'll see that zombie gets a little bit scared there, like you just saw an 82-foot zombie. Okay, so now what are we going to do? Well, there's two different ways that we can assign weight maps, and it kind of depends on, the best version depends on what version of Lightwave you're using. If you're using 7.0 and above, you'll definitely want to use the spreadsheet editor, which is a great handy little tool that we're going to explore here in a minute. If you're using 6.5 or below, you can actually easily set the weight maps in here in our bone item properties by going down here to where it says bone weight map and selecting the correct weight map that's associated with that bone. So for example, I've selected, down here you can see I've selected spine 1, and then I would just go in here and select spine 1, and I would move my way through the chain. It might be a little bit easier if you did that in schematic view, where you can actually easily select all your bones, or you can just do it in the perspective view, although if you're going to do it this way, I definitely suggest doing it in the schematic view. Okay, let's go back into perspective. I'm going to close this out, and now I'm going to go into the spreadsheet editor. And under here, I'm going to actually set this back for a second. Go to Bone Properties Influence. Sometimes you have to sort of refresh the screen by selecting something else and then going back in. And here you can see we've got laid out for us all of our bones, and then we have a column here which will let us select the weight map that goes with it. So let's just go and start moving our way through here. First I'm going to select the pelvis. And we've already done spine 1. Then I'm going to select spine 2, spine 3, spine 4, and then I'm going to select the neck, and then I'm going to select the head, and then we get to the right hip. Well, there are several bones that we created, if you remember, in our skeleton that don't actually, well, they actually serve special purposes in our rig. Some of them are for rotation purposes, some of them are for setting up IK, and some of them were just parenting little things that we did. So as we go through this, I'm going to tell you which bones you need to skip over, because we don't actually need weight maps assigned to them. We're going to stick to the weight maps to the major extremities that we've got here, the major portions of the character. So we're going to skip the right hip, and we're going to go to the right up leg, and assign right up leg, right lower leg. We'll get the right lower leg, right foot, and then right toes, which would be down here. We're going to skip right kneecap, right knee, right foot roll, right leg effector, right collarbone, and then we're going to go to right up arm, and we're going to skip right arm effector, go to right hand, skip right elbow cap, move this down, And now we're into the right lower arm, and then the right lower arm roll, which will also get the right lower arm. And now we're over to the left side of the character. Left hip, we'll skip that. We'll go to left up leg, just down here. Left lower leg, which is right there. Left foot. Left toes. We'll skip left kneecap, left knee, left foot roll, left leg effector, left collarbone, and then we'll go to left up arm, and move down. Skip left arm effector, go to left hand, skip left elbow cap. We'll go to left lower arm, left lower arm roll, which will also get left lower arm. And now we're going to get into the fingers. I'm going to go ahead and pause and save my scene here, just because I want to keep my progress. I had a little crash earlier, and don't want to have that happen again and have to redo this. So feel free to save at the same time. Okay, now we're getting into the fingers and the thumb, so this is going to take a couple minutes. Let's just go through here and try to work our way down. Maybe I'll work in a little music at this point. So if you've made it this far into this whole thing, I really appreciate you sticking around and following these lessons along. They've been really helpful for me, actually, and I've learned a few new things in doing them. And certainly there are a lot of tutorials. There's a lot of resources available out there in books, on the internet, where you can find a lot of the information I'm presenting to you. But quite often you'll find actually that sometimes that information is incomplete, or sometimes maybe the information isn't quite as thorough as you'd like it to be. And really what I've been trying to do here is be as thorough as possible, but still keep it, not get too bogged down into too much detail and get too redundant. Certainly I hope that you'll benefit from that, especially if you're a beginner and you're just starting out and you're like, you have no idea exactly what all these steps were up until this point. I think you'll find that if you really pay close attention and you work through these carefully, that you're going to have no problems in the future doing these kinds of rigs or inventing new rigs of your own. Okay, I've got all of those, and again, I'm going to go ahead and pause and save my scene, and actually I'm going to go ahead back and compare all the work I've done here to make sure I've gotten the assignments correct. Why don't you go ahead and do the same as well? Okay, it looks like I've got everything done correctly. I'm going to close my spreadsheet manager here, and I think we'll go ahead and stop at this point and move into the next lesson, where we're going to go ahead and check out our deformations.